even though I've never played the 2005 GameCube version of Resident Evil 4, the dozens of hours I spent playing the Wii version firmly cemented it as my favorite game ever made. Everything about it was equal parts quirky, terrifying, and innovative. I could go on and on about the ways the original game broke the mold, but this review is about the 2023 Resident Evil 4 Remake. After playing most of the way through the game on the hardcore difficulty, I can say without hesitation that the remake is the definitive way to experience Resident Evil 4.
What was that?
Capcom should be insanely proud for the many ways they have updated a classic, allowing it to live on and terrify a new generation.
No fucking way. It just keeps getting worse.
If you've been living under a rock since 2005 and haven't heard of Resident Evil 4, you play as cop turned federal agent Leon Kennedy, who is tasked with traveling to a remote European village to rescue the president's daughter, Ashley Graham. The story has dramatic plot twists and a cast of both endearing and horrifying characters that will both help and attempt to murder Leon through his adventure. The mixture of action and horror made Resident Evil 4 an instant classic when it first released, and it went on to win numerous awards. Now, 17 years after the original game changed the landscaping of video games forever, Resident Evil 4 Remake is here to remind everyone what made it such an incredible experience the first time around.
Gotta go. Talk later. I'll let myself out.
Before playing the remake of Resident Evil 4, I had never played a game that weaponized my knowledge and used it to scare me or hinder my progress. But there are multiple instances of this type of change in the Resident Evil 4 remake, and they have made for some of the scariest moments in my playthrough. It also helps that the enemy design is impeccably detailed and refined to make the most of the original's concepts. The enemies in this game are legitimately terrifying. Some enemies that I used to laugh at in the original have made my skin crawl in the remake. Looking at you, giant camouflaged bugs. The inclusion of a model viewer is a welcome addition, and while I didn't spend much time there, I'm sure there are some who appreciate having the ability to get an up-close look at the detailed enemy designs. Not only are the enemies gorgeous, but the various locations are brought to life in stunning 4K detail. The original game didn't look bad by 2005 standards, but the remake is one of the best-looking games I've played on PS5 to date. In addition to the massive graphical overhaul the remake received, the combat mechanics have gotten a 2023 update as well. Gone are the days of single-stick movement and aiming. Resident Evil 4 Remake has updated the control scheme to better reflect the innovations that have happened since the release of the original game. This means that in addition to the game running smoother and loading faster, the combat is punchier, more gory, and dismemberment is fully depicted in all its bloody glory. The addition of a parry button allows Leon to deflect enemy attacks at the cost of some of his knife durability, which is another new feature added to the remake. Having to make split-second decisions about whether to parry an attack or take the hit to conserve knife durability at the cost of my health transformed combat into a dance of aggression and well-timed defensive plays. Much of the game has been left as is, in terms of the areas you'll explore and the plot lines. But the game is not without some large changes that affected the way I played. The inclusion of an updated map and the ability to craft health and ammunition at any time from the menu were two changes which had the largest impact on my time with Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Welcome. Well then, what can I do you for?
Of course, the famous merchant makes his triumphant return in the Resident Evil 4 Remake as well. His dialogue is slightly different, and he isn't always located in the same places he was in the original game, but he is everywhere you need him to be. The game has been condensed in the remake, and every system at play is better off for it. The merchant's side quests give you a reason to explore off the beaten path, the strange mechanical contraptions are given meaning in the updated story, and the writing for Leon and Ashley has improved dramatically. Yes, you still have to protect Ashley from enemies who will do their best to carry her kicking and screaming off into the darkness, but she isn't as much of a hindrance this time around. There's a difficult encounter in the castle section where Ashley actually helps you pretty significantly, and I was genuinely appreciative that she was there with me, and I never felt that way playing the original.
There's the clock tower. Hang in there, Ashley.
Capcom needed to change very few aspects of the original Resident Evil 4 to bring it up to date with contemporary games. Everything that needed to be fixed or tweaked has been, and it was done without compromising the core of what makes this game so special. I can't describe what it feels like to return to this world and these characters, but in all the best ways, it feels like coming home. The original game will always hold a special place in my heart, but when I want to experience the nightmare that is Resident Evil 4 from now on, I'll happily load up the remake and enjoy every terrifying minute.
Next.